Hello guys and welcome back. Today's video is going to be a follow-up to a video I previously did where I was testing out some Jeffree Star products. I also tested some products from Colourpop, Winky Lux, and some from Beauty Bakarie. So I'm going to be sharing my follow-up thoughts on those products in today's video. I've been testing them out for quite a few weeks now and I have my full thoughts. So if you guys want to hear my reviews on those products, let's go ahead and get started. Have not checked out that video of me testing out the products, I will have it down in the description box if you want to watch that first. So I was basically testing out Jeffree Star products. This was my first time trying out his products in that video. I have some of his highlighters. I also tried one of his like deep freeze highlights as well. I tried his liquid lipsticks. I also tried the new color mascaras, the Bff Mascara from Colourpop. I tested that out. So I want to get into my thoughts on the products I was testing in that video. So the first item I want to talk about is from MUA Makeup Academy. So this was my first time kind of testing out products from them in general. They sent me a very generous PR package, so I've been testing out a few of their products. So this was the contour palette that I tried out. This one's called the Bronzing Palette. I tried that one out in that testing new makeup video, and I've been really liking this one. I've been reaching into it a lot. So inside of here you do get 3 different shades. So you have this more like lighter shade, and then you have the deeper shade, which I've been using to contour, and then you have this middle one. So the middle one does have a little bit of sheen to it. It's nothing too crazy. It just definitely has like a bit of glisten in it. So I've been using that more as a bronzer topper. So I've been going in this shade right here for my bronzer, contour with this, and then topping it with this. I think it's a really nice palette. I like how compact it is. It also has a mirror on here as well. And no matter how much I go in with these powders, I don't feel like they look muddy on my skin or anything like that. They just look perfect. The actual tones of this palette I think work really well on my skin tone. I think that it's really great, especially the bronzing shade that I've been using. It's just it's not too orange, it's not too like dark, it's just a perfect shade for me. So I've been really reaching into this one a lot. I've been really enjoying it. Like I said, I also love how compact and small it is as well. From Winky Lux, we have their Smitten palette, and I actually had this one on my eyes again today. So in this palette, you get 6 different shades right here, and in that video I believe I used the green, I used this one, and then this one here, and that's actually what I used for my eye look again today. I do like this palette. I like the formula of it. I think that the shadows perform nicely. My only con to this palette is because it only has these 6 shades, I feel like you're very constricted to the looks that you can create with this. I feel like each time I used it, I was always going in with this shade first, then this shade, and I was either going in with this one all over the lid or the green, or like making a more neutral look with these two. I don't really feel like you have a lot of variety in it, especially with the only 2 mattes in the palette. I think that there's just not really much to do within this palette. If you are someone who likes smaller palettes where you know exactly what you're going to go into it and do, then you might enjoy this one. But for me, I just feel like it's a little bit constricting. Like maybe if it just had like 9 pans instead of the 6, just a few more colors in here, or even another matte instead of one of the shimmers, I think I would use it a bit more. But for me, this is one that I'm going to kind of just go into just for that green, or just for the pink in here that I think is really pretty. It's not really going to be one that I'm reaching for all the time. That being said, I do really like the formula of the shades. I think that they actually work really well, and I was impressed with the actual palette. Just don't think it's going to be something that's really practical to my collection. Up next, I want to talk about the Colourpop Bff Mascara. So in that video, I was using the one that is in Blew Your Mind, which is the blue mascara. So I will be honest with you guys, I have not used this one again since I did that video. I think that obviously color mascara isn't something you're going to be using every single day, so I haven't reached into this one again, but I have been using the black one, so that's where I'm going to kind of tie this review in. So I've been using the black one. This is going to be the same formula, and I do actually like this one. It's supposed to be a volumizing mascara. I have it on my lashes today, and I do feel like it gives me volume. Con with this though is that you have to apply, I feel like, so many different coats of this. It's definitely a more drier formula, so I feel like for me to get the volume that I want, or to get like the blackness I want, I have to go in quite a few times. Like I would say I at least did 4 to 5 coats of this today, and I'm used to mascaras where I can even go in with 1 coat or 2 and be good. And I feel like for this one, I really had to work at it, and I really had to keep applying it to get to the desired volume that I wanted. I do have longer lashes, so I normally don't have any issues with getting mascaras to work for me. It's just not something I really necessarily am very picky about, because I feel like I can generally look okay with most mascaras. It's just a matter of kind of preference when it comes to the formula and how much I have to work at it. So for me, I don't think that this one's going to be a new favorite just based upon how much I had to work to get it onto my lashes and to get the desired volume that I did want. However, this is a more affordable option. I think I just saw it on sale. It's only $6 on the Colourpop's website. So if you like the more bright colors, you can pick up a couple of the colors, or if you are wanting to try the black one, it is on sale right now. But I feel like there's other drugstore mascaras that I like a little bit more than this one. So I do think it's okay, but it's not going to be a new favorite. All right, so let's talk about the Jeffree Star products that I was testing out in that video. So this was my first time testing out Jeffree Star. I've never tried any of his products before. So it was a true like first impressions in that video. So I tested out the liquid lipstick in Can't Relate, and then I also have the one in Watermelon Soda. So I've been testing both of these out. And I do like the formula. Again, it's not going to be a new favorite for me. I do enjoy it. Would I buy another one of these lipsticks? Yes, I would buy one. I just don't think that it's going to be in like my tippy top, you know, favorite liquid lipsticks ever. But I think it's a really nice formula. It lasted really long on the lips. I've used the shade Can't Relate quite a few times. I only used the Watermelon Soda once, but that's just because, you know, this is kind of like a bright color. I feel like you have to be in the mood to be wearing that shade. But the nude shade Can't Relate I think is really pretty on the lips. I really like the shade. I really like the color of it. I feel like it kind of goes with everything. I think it's really nice. They dry down nicely. They last really long on the lips. I don't have any complaints with these whatsoever. I do think it's a really good formula. So I will continue to maybe try a couple more shades in these. I do think they are really good. And then we have the highlights. So this is kind of where I got a little bit disappointed and where this kind of video is going to take a little bit of a turn because I really didn't like these. So these are the Supreme Frost. So I tried out two different ones. So I have the Supreme Peach or the Frozen Peach, and then I also have the Wet Dream shade. And both of these I just wasn't a fan of. I do have them on my cheeks today, and I honestly feel like you can barely see it. If you're seeing a little bit of glow, I think that came from my blush that I used. But I just really don't like these. They're very glittery, like really glittery. Like if I were to get so close to you guys, you can probably see like the specks of glitter on my face. I just don't think it's very flattering. I think it looks bad like over top of my pores. It brings out the texture in my skin. And I do think that I have to build these up quite a bit to even get them to show up. So not only are they glittery, they're also, I feel like, pretty sheer, and you have to build them up quite a bit to even get like any color payoff, I feel like. And when I actually even swatch them, like it literally looks like just like straight glitter. I don't know how to even explain it. So if you're someone who likes a glittery highlight, then maybe this one is for you. But for me, I don't like glittery highlights. I feel like I hardly ever reach for the ones that I do have that are glittery. And just with these being, I think they're about $20. I don't think that they're really worth it based upon my experience with them. So these aren't going to be one that I'm going to be trying again. I'm kind of bummed that I have two of them, honestly, because I didn't really like these. But I did also try out this one, which is the Skin Frost. And the shade that I got was the Deep Freeze. So I wish I would have had a more wearable shade to test out in this. I'm not complaining by any means, but I do want to continue out to try out this formula. So I want to buy one of the more like wearable shades so I can test it out more. But this is the blue one that I was wearing in that video. I have it on my inner corners today, and I have been using this one just as an eyeshadow. I didn't really love the way it looked as a highlight. It kind of pulled green on me. So I didn't love it for that, but I do like it for an inner corner pop. I liked it all over the lid. I thought it was really cool. Maybe on the lower lash line, like that's the way I'm going to be using this. So it's definitely a very large eyeshadow for me, but I do think it's unique to my collection. I will keep it in my collection to use as an eyeshadow. I just want to try out this formula as like a more wearable shade so I can test it out as a highlight and see if I like it, because I really didn't like those other ones. And I know everyone always raves about his highlights, so I was kind of a little bit bummed that I didn't like the Supreme Frost. So I'm kind of have high hopes for this one, so I need to go on his website and order one. Let me know down below if you have a favorite like more wearable shade from him or a highlight that you would recommend from him. I'd be curious to know. Kind of like half and half. I liked the liquid lipsticks. I didn't love the highlights. Those are the items I got from him. I did get a lip liner and also like a bullet lipstick in my Beautylish bag. I put those ones up on my Poshmark because I didn't really see me reaching into those colors, honestly. They were quite bright colors, and I just didn't really need them in my collection either. So I ended up selling those on my Poshmark. I think they're still available. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't feel like I needed those, so I wanted to keep the liquid lipsticks. Obviously wanted to keep the highlights to test out. And I still do want to make another order from him and kind of see if I can figure out some other products that I might like from him more, maybe one of his palettes or something like that. Alright, and the last two things I want to chat about is the Beauty Bakarie. This is the Flour Better Not Bitter powder, and I tested this one out in that video. I just used it kind of to carve out my cheekbones, but I've been using this one. I've tried it under the eyes now. It's a very fine powder, which I do like. It is going to be one that I will use up. I will definitely reach for this, and I do really like it. It's very, very fine, like I said, and it does do a good job of like blurring as well, and I just really like it. It's very smooth on the under eyes. It isn't too heavy at all. I don't think that this is going to replace, you know, my favorite from Rimmel London. You guys know I love their Stay Matte powder. I don't think that this one is going to replace that for me, but I will use the entire thing up because I did like it. And then the MOTD brushes. So these I'm kind of like, So I didn't love them, and I don't think that they're going to replace the brushes that I normally use, or I have some like other favorites that I've been using. I don't think that these brushes are going to do that for me. They're okay. I do think they're a little scratchy on the eyes. They're not the best for blending, at least for me. They're a little bit too stiff when it comes to blending out in the eyes. I did like the brow brush, however. This one is the brow brush. I did really like that one. Still have them in my little containers, and I've been kind of reaching for them here and there, but they're not going to be a brush that I feel really comfortable recommending to you as far as like the blending side of them. I just think they're a little scratchy, and they're just not going to be my favorites. But after that, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing like this follow-up to that video, and like I said, I'll have it linked down below if you didn't get a chance to see that products in action. I will have that link down below. Give it a thumbs up if you did like this one. Also, don't forget to subscribe before you go, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, friends.